Kruger National Park and Greater Kruger represent one of the finest and most diverse and protected biospheres in Africa. It is South Africa's symbol and one of the most visited national parks, traveled by over 1 million people annually. This is where people come to see beautiful canyons, Big Five, connect to nature, and learn about the importance of animals and biodiversity. This is the same area that is being affected by poaching, lack of water and its quality, and of course, climate change. So responsible ecotourism plays a crucial role in bringing funding towards tackling these challenges.
Obviously in this area, we've got quite a high amount of rhino poaching activity. One of the reasons is obviously we got a high population of rhino, and also there's a lot of reserves around. The big thing that we want is what time of the day, when did it happen, and which day did it happen. As simple as that, because from there we can actually see.
The aim of this conservation project is to monitor changes in animal populations over time to see how they are affected by human activities. And of course, protect animals, especially white and black rhinos, by helping build a database of rhino individuals that are living in the area. And all of that while offering tourists an unforgettable, one-of-a-kind adventure of volunteerism in the bush.
So all of those rhinos were poached?
All of these ones were poached, yes.
This is a rhino skull. So here you can see this is where the rhino horn was. And poachers here are really brutal because the rhino horn goes under the skin. They really don't want to miss any of it, so they really go under the skin, and sometimes they remove literally half of the face of the rhino while the rhino is still alive. They report their findings to the reserve management and the anti-poaching team, who can then use this information to decide on where to focus their efforts.
We just found the hair from the back of the warthog, stuck at the bottom of this tree where animals are rubbing. I'm gonna keep it.
Conserving Africa's large animals requires big areas of natural habitat rather than smaller fenced-off conservation reserves. This allows animals to migrate, reduces human impact on wildlife, and increases biodiversity and animal numbers. To maximize the size of this natural habitat, the Kruger National Park in South Africa has physically joined with national parks in Mozambique and Zimbabwe to form the Great Limpopo Transfrontier Conservation Area. Did you get it? This is great news for conservation! This is one of the very few places in the world that actively tries to bring the fences down to allow large populations of animals such as elephants, lions, rhinos, buffaloes, giraffes, hyenas, wild dogs to roam, breed, and hunt throughout this vast wilderness. Removing fences within the Greater Kruger and expansion of this project is really win-win for all. But why?
Your management style changes, obviously, but the pressure that's just on that one area becomes less, because now animals can move way more freely.
Of course, it allows animals to move and migrate, which is part of their natural instinct. But also, the larger the park is, the better it is at sustaining itself, and the less people have to get involved to manage it. The bigger the protection area, the less pressure there is on vegetation, as well as it reduces human negative impact. The mass migration of hoofed mammals around the world is under threat. As the human footprint expands, more and more barriers are introduced to the landscape, blocking traditional migration pathways. Without these migrations, the environment and so many of the creatures associated with Africa would disappear. The goal of this expansion project is to prove that these animals provide so much more value than just a good photo opportunity.
A big takeaway for me is just how important land is for animals, and land without fences. So the greater Kruger area is huge, and because of that, it's one of the best places in the world for wildlife.
Grateful for an opportunity to be here and to experience nature and to feel close and connected to it, and to learn more about how those very little details all come together and all, play a huge role in our ecosystem, from one tiny bug to the grass to the rhino, how it all makes our ecosystem that is incredibly important for those animals and for us, for humans. Even if we lose one piece of this chain, if we lose one bug, the whole system is ruined. And when you get an understanding of this, when you understand the importance of all those little things, this is when you can start thinking about how you can come into this to protect it and to do something, like even being here and learning about those things and passing on the message.